words. In our Sunday school class, one of our folks said, man, when I was in boot camp at 17, I was scared to death. I prayed. I said, Lord, send me a sign. Help me make it through this horrible training. He said he looked down on his dog tags. God gave him a miracle. It said, be positive. And he kept reading that and reading that and reading that and reading that for the 6 weeks of basic training. And someone in his battalion said, you were scared to death. What made the difference? He said, I had a divine message from God. Look at my dog tag. Be positive. The guy said, look at my dog tag. Oh, negative. He really thought it was a divine message. And he did it, and he made it. I was telling a speaker friend of mine, he said, you should have seen my dog tags. It said, A, negative Presbyterian. Words are powerful. Words can build you up and pull you down. How many of you are in sales? Yeah, you know how strong it is to stay positive. Actually, we're all in sales. Words are powerful, like I said. Well, y'all, the very next day, I attended a celebration of life service from one of my dearest friends, way up in her 80s. She was a Southern lady, but she was also a steel magnolia. You know what I'm talking about. Ooh, I love those ladies. But her son stood up and he said, you know what my mother taught me? She taught me about words and the power. She said communication. She said you communicate with people in a manner in which they understand. It's a great sales technique right there. In the manner in which they understand. Let me tell you a story. My mother was widowed, he said, very young. One night, she woke up and there was an intruder at the foot of her bed, a robber. And she popped up out of that bed and said every awful word she could muster. Very colorful. It scared that man so much, he ran out of her house. The very next day, retired preacher, old preacher Knight, came to see her, held her hand. Oh, Miss Lillian, I heard. She said, thank you, preacher Knight. He said, just what did you say, Sister Lillian? She said, oh, preacher Knight, I'd rather not say. He said, honey, I know whatever it was, the Lord just put those words in your mouth.
I am a she, a Southern home executive.